Good
Okay.
afternoon, good evening, good morning, whenever you're watching this. My name is James, and today I will be interviewing the lovely Miss Andy Ashley.
How you doing?
We're here at Mesa College in Southern California. So I'll let Andy introduce herself. She's a former athlete herself. So Andy, go ahead.
How you doing? My name's Andrea. I'm a former athlete, veteran. I'm currently studying nutrition and dietetics and hopes of becoming a registered dietitian. I'm a full-time student, and James is my friend who has graciously asked me to have this interview with him.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being here, even though you have no choice. Anyway.
Great.
So today, Ashley, because that's what I call you all the time. Yep. Today we're going to be discussing physical activity, specifically just some of the benefits. So we'll just start off with the overall question of like, what are your thoughts on physical activity, specifically in like schools, or like how would you say, what are some benefits or some things that we could work on as far as physical activity in schools today?
In schools today, I think we could definitely work on children's mechanics, like learning how to properly run, learning how to properly walk, things like the heel strike, things that we are so underappreciated that we don't realize what we have until we lose it, need to be emphasized in school, which is the importance of the PE classes and learning the basic movements so that you just learn how to function without hurting yourself as you grow and develop, because children are growing and developing every year.
I was so well said. I would have thought that I was paying you. Moving forward, so clearly you're very passionate about physical activity, specifically that towards young children. So about yourself, I know that you mentioned that you're a prior athlete yourself. What did you play? And were there any things that you saw that could have, is there anything that you wish you would have done or known that would have benefited you in the future? Like, did you ever succumb to any injuries, or was there anything that you think that they should have been teaching you?
So I did play. I was a former collegiate basketball player at Laterno University in Longview, Texas, and I had a few injuries, and they were all mild, very easily recoverable. But I cracked the top of my tibia, so where like the knee joint, I cracked the top of it, which caused excruciating pain. I didn't get it fixed because it healed, unfortunately. But one thing I realized is we don't need all these supportive braces. They look really, really cool. They look great, but when we lack the knowledge around properly strengthening and isolating certain things and really preparing yourself for your sport through specific sports training methods, that's where you're at risk for injury. So a lot of people are very athletic. You can hop from basketball to volleyball to soccer, but when you're not training specifically for these sports, it's very easy to get injured. So understanding the muscle groups that you're using and then learning how to use them and learning how to recover properly. So that's eating well, drinking water, getting sleep at night, so you're not constantly putting wear and tear on your body. So at the end of your sports tenure, whatever that may be, you don't have your typical bad knees, bad back, bad ankle, hurt wrist, things like that.
No, I definitely agree with you. So myself, I grew up playing a plethora of sports. It was kind of my parents' way of managing a hyperactive kid. So the idea was if he was outside running karate, football, basketball, soccer, then he wouldn't, be getting into trouble and or, destroying the inside of the house. However, because I didn't, I remember I had a coach specifically that used to tell us that stretching was something that you do when you're older. And that was just kind of the mentality that I grew up with in regards to stretching, was just like, oh, you don't do that until you're old. And now that I look back, dude's insane. My hips are tight for no reason. Well, because of him. But that's not the point. The point is, I definitely agree with you in regards to, as far as not only just proper education on the do's and don'ts behind exercise, but also the reason why we do things. I think that's a huge... And
the application. It's super easy to say, this is how you don't run like this, but then when you actually run, it's very easy to fall into the same pattern you said don't do.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. But another piece that you had mentioned that I think is just as important, if not the most important, is actually the tying together of diet and nutrition. A lot of people don't specifically, and I'm gonna throw out American culture here. I think American culture, there's a lot of this like calorie in, calorie out mentality, but there isn't like a lot of discussion on like what are you doing as far as like your nutritional value for your body. A lot of people just see it as like this umbrella of calories, and as long as I'm hitting my 2,000 calories a day, then I'm good. What are your thoughts on calories, or at least the American culture of like how they view nutrition and exercise? Do you think that let's be honest, it's come a long way as opposed to the pyramid?
I believe that we have generalized and made so many like nice niche sayings out of everything. We've almost kind of like opened this Pandora's box of this misinformation, these catchy slogans. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, nutrition can be very simple, it can also be very hard. Simple is that if you eat nutrient-dense foods, probably gonna have a better outcome than eating a bunch of poorly or non-nutrient dense foods. But we get very caught up in the good calories and the bad calories, or the goodness or the badness, and we make things so much harder for ourselves. Mm-hmm. Everything works together. There's no like one thing that like makes everything go around. It's always a compilation of things that make the human body function. So can you have a lot of nutrient poor foods and still perform well, and wonder why this athlete never gains a pound and can run as fast as whatever? That's just how some people make their lives go around.
No, I totally agree with you. I think that there's almost like a damnation of like certain foods or certain things to do. It's just like you're gonna have a cheeseburger or a steak or whatever with your meal or after a workout.
But I mean, like you said, science has come so far, and like we made trans fat. We thought it was amazing. Then we came back and said trans fat is actually literally killing you. Stop. We've come up with diets, and we're like, hey, this is amazing. We've come back and said, hey, this actually causes most of the health problems. The problem is that science is ever changing. The common debate is, can you have an egg yolk? Is cholesterol? Is it too much cholesterol? These debates go back and forth. And I think what happens is we get stuck on the information that we die-hardly believed 20, 30 years ago. And so now when you come back, there's more evidence. People don't want to let go of what once was. So now you're compounding old beliefs and theories with new knowledge to create even more of a nutritional mess. And you're trying to sift through.
Yeah. No, I think that's pretty accurate. So this will be kind of like the last piece of it, because I think that this is realistically a major, I won't say problem, but we'll say just like a major...
It's a concern.
Concern is the use of Instagram and social media in regards of physical fitness and nutrition. It comes with both good and bad. I think a lot of people learn good base knowledge for a lot of things. The unfortunate side effect, though, is I think that there's a lot of information that comes out almost as if like God speaking, and because of that, it's this very clear like this is the right way, this is the wrong way. And I just want to know what your thoughts on social media specifically in regards to physical fitness and nutrition. Do you think it's better? I mean, I'll just let you.
Good knowledge isn't sexy. Facts aren't sexy. So when you get on social media, I'm going to post you a 6-minute workout to get a 6-pack abs. I'm going to give you a catchy slogan, drink a shake, do this because that's sexy, that's fun, that's easy. When I give you the facts, the numbers, that's not sexy, it's not fun. You want to get on social media for the filter. So the filter side of things, the lighting, the different tactics that are used to get you to click on posts and get that traction isn't always the best information, but because it comes from someone who has 6.8 million followers and 6-pack abs, you're like, oh, I'm going to believe them over the person that has tenure in the industry for 40 years but has 2,000 followers who doesn't have 6-pack abs. So social media has definitely distorted what health is. It's because once you make something sexy, that's how culture is. Once you make it sexy, it sells.
Yeah. So, no, that's the whole purpose of, or the fad diets that we've seen, the fad exercises. In the 90s, it was all cardio, early 2000s, and, now it's either CrossFit or...
Even with that, the trend of athletes, where it was Simmons, Richard Simmons?
Oh, yeah.
Like the aerobics and exercise, and Jillian Michaels and Beachbody. Now we're under CrossFit, and now we're doing all these different type of things, and it's like a wave of what goes on. It's just kind of what's popular.
No, definitely.
And no one's focusing on the fundamentals, which is sleeping, recovery, eating well, doing basic movements, and being able to control your own body weight. And now it's about what looks coolest on TV, and can I balance on this plate or this box?
Yeah, definitely. It's almost like a circus show of things I can do. Of just like I can do a weighted pull up, or like I can do a overhead snatch at 135.
But you can't touch your toes.
Yeah. Okay. Easy. All right. Well, thank you, Andy, for the interview. I appreciate it. And
thanks for having me.
go ahead and put your likes and comments down in the YouTube below.
Like and subscribe below.
All right. Thank you.